This is Will Sinclair, and I'm out in the parking lot in a grocery store again, and this is episode 43.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, and welcome to the show. This is Will Sinclair, and this is episode 43 of The Real Truth About You, and I'm your host for today. And it's true, I'm out in a parking lot in a big, it's called the Real Canadian Superstore parking lot. My wife's in finishing paying for groceries. I was in there shopping. Just got out of hospital day surgery this morning. Got some more work done on my throat. Got a dilation done. And what that is basically they put a balloon down your throat and they blow it up. It could be a party piece. That's what I could be right now. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to tell you, this is probably going to be a quickie because I'm not meant to be speaking right now. But last week I had said in my podcast, episode 42, that I was writing a book. And I also said that I'd already written a book before, co-authored with my wife, and that kind of like sucked at the marketing part. And if anybody out there knows how to market, get in touch with me. But the funny thing is, I always talk about Dr. Wayne Dyer in his book, Wishes Fulfilled. And he talks about when the student is ready, the teachers will appear. And, you know, it's just like you're just ready to hear something and you hear it on TV. It could be an advertisement for something, but the words about something really stick out to you, or graffiti on a wall, all of a sudden it has some kind of meaning to you. And or you read something in a book, or somebody comes to talk to you. And yeah, so when the teacher's ready, when you're ready, the teachers will appear. So you'll need to hear what you need to hear when you need to hear it. And anyway, I'd said that if anybody knows how to market, can you get in touch with me? Well, I was in a big bookstore. I was at another doctor's appointment last week, and I was with my son and daughter-in-law, and we were in this big Chapters bookstore. And anyway, we were just, I was looking and looking. Books on writing used to be like millions of them all over the place, and they used to have big sections for books on writing, but apparently Chapters doesn't do that as much anymore. And I was looking and looking for the section on writing, and they eventually pointed me to this little reference section with books on just about anything, and a couple of shelves on writing. But hey, what did I find? What did I find on the shelf? Well, I'm looking, and there's a book on how to publish and market online for busy authors. And it's by I can't remember, I don't have the book in front of me, and it's by a lady, and she's done books for really famous people. She's managed their online presence and their online marketing. And this book is a start to finish, step one to whatever, on how to market online, how to build a presence, how to create a brand, how to build a community around your books. And so it was really appropriate. And then right beside it was a book on how to write your memoir. And I thought, holy moly, I just looked at them both together. And my book is basically a story of my life. I'm actually putting quite a few funny things in it, but it's a story about my life, and it's also a story about, because I think I've got a story to tell. And it's also about my beliefs right now, and what I see, and how I interact with God, with my divine, and that kind of stuff. So seeing them both together, I just wanted to podcast it last week. I thought, because I podcasted from my son's house, and then we went to Chapters, and I saw this. And then I thought, I've got to tell everybody this. I was just talking about it, and Wayne Dyer talks about this. When the student's ready, the teachers appear. And there was the book, but I thought, I'll wait till this week. And here I am. I'm podcasting on the road again. And I wish I could take a picture of this. It's a microphone, an iPhone, and a set of headphones, like the earbuds. And I'm podcasting right from the passenger seat of our vehicle in the front in a parking lot. And broadcasting, essentially, if broadcasting is the right word, podcasting worldwide. We're in over 24 countries right now. And if you could see how simple this little setup was, right? I'd love to take a picture of it, but I'm actually using the phone right now, so I can't take a picture with it. There's just an iPhone, an app, and a microphone, and that's it. My message to the world. So if you've ever got a message that you want to get out, or you've got a hobby, right, or an interest, and you just love talking about it, and you're willing to overcome that fright that comes from talking in front of a microphone, all of a sudden you seem to go, I don't know what to say, right? If you can overcome that, which takes no time at all, right? You could be broadcasting your message across the world to whoever's interested. I get emails from all over the world, right? Most of them are coming from the UK right now and from Canada. But I get correspondence from all over the world, 24 countries I'm in right now. And it's just amazing what you can do with technology, with an iPhone. I'm sure you can do it with your other smartphone. And I'm sure you can do it with just, speaking into the microphone on your phone. It doesn't matter. It's just a better quality with the microphone. But I wanted to share with you something. I was in the hospital this morning, and we kind of got up at 5 in the morning, and we live 2 hours away from this hospital, and so we drove here to get here for 8 o'clock in the morning, and the waiting room, the admitting room, because I have to be admitted, is just tons of people, but they're handing out. You sometimes you have to take a ticket, a number. Take a number, hit next number coming up, number 83. Kind of like bingo. But anyway, the waiting there was this volunteer lady, and she said, "Would you like a number?" And I said, "Sure." She says, "There you go." And it was number 93 it was, and I think they were calling 87 by then. And every so often she would look and see when a space was available, and she would say, "Okay, 88, are you here?" And then if they needed help, they'd help them up. And the funny thing is, I said to her, I says, "You know what? I've been in quite a few hospitals over the past 2 years, and you put a warm face against sometimes what seems like dire situations." And I remember all my hospital stays, all my hospital visits, and when I was going through chemotherapy and radiation treatments and surgeries and all that stuff over the last 2 years, these volunteers, and they're volunteers at the hospital to give up their own time, right? Their own time. They don't get paid for this. They put on these little blue smock things, look like a Walmart greeter, and they have an ID tag with their photograph on it, saying they're a volunteer, who they are, and they're the ones who greet you and welcome you. They show you where to go. And when you get into a health system that's really busy and can sometimes feel cold because it's business for them, right? And I'm not saying that the people in the health industry are cold. I'm just saying sometimes it seems like you're in a machine, right? And you're not feeling the greatest, or you're going through some issues, and there might be life-altering issues in your life, or death issues in your life, and these people put on a smile, and they take their time just to come and put on a face, so that this whole machine, this health system, while you're going through what you're going through, has a nice face, a human touch, a relationship, someone who will relate to you when you come in, welcome you with a smile, and give you your number, instead of just coming up to a wall with a ticket dispenser that says, "Take a number and be seated." And that's got me thinking about life too. Life is like that. We are called to be love to others. People need relationship. We are called to take that time to be God for other people, to be love for other people, to put on that face that other people need, to be the love that they need. And it's not difficult. When you get yourself right with yourself, when you get yourself right with your divine, when you get yourself right with the world, it is so easy to be that face. It is so easy to want, to desire, to give of your life. And whether it's you're doing it as a volunteer somewhere in a hospital, or you're just in a grocery store and the lineup is long and you can see somebody's frustrated and you just smile at them, or you're passing somebody in the aisle and you smile at them. Other than being classed as a stalker sometimes, I know the way the world works sometimes, but you know what? You could be the only smile that somebody needs for that day. You never know what kind of day somebody's had. And this is not a guilt trip, right? This is not you didn't smile at that person today, so, whoa. No, you don't know what people's days are like, right? So here I come in and I've been on the road for 2 hours. I had a pretty crappy day the day before. I had to call in for this almost emergency dilation so that I can eat properly. And you come in, you're tired from driving in the winter, and here's this person amongst all these people that says, "Hi, would you like a number?" Just as simple as that, and it makes you feel, at least it made me feel good, and I know some other people complimented her too. And this particular lady seemed quite young in the sense of young, like probably in her 50s, mid-50s, being retired for a couple of years now, probably in an early retirement plan, and decided, hey, I'm going to volunteer. And I remember when I was doing chemo and you're not feeling the greatest, and these volunteers in the hospital would come around and, would you like a cup of soup? Would you like a coffee or a tea or a cold drink? Would you like some cookies? And it's all volunteer. They're not asking for any money. They just do it for the love of it, and it just made me think how important that human touch is, how important that human connection is, and how much we need it. People use it in business all the time. Seth Godin talks about relationship marketing. He talks about that people don't, a lot of people, when you buy a vehicle, most people don't buy brand new vehicles based on logic. They buy it on emotion, and they buy it from a place that's going to build relationship with them, make them feel good. Most people go to churches that make them feel good. They feel welcome. They feel loved. When you go to a restaurant or a cafe, and it's like, hey, Bob, how are you? Would you like a usual table? Right? Or, pretty cold out today, eh? Or whatever it is. And they make you feel special. That's where you're drawn to the most. You don't go to a restaurant because, well, the meals are reasonably priced and they're very efficient at cooking and bringing them out on time, right? Yeah, maybe if you're going through a drive-through at McDonald's or something, but no, people usually go where there's relationships, and business people know that. They know that business revolves around relationships. We are emotional human beings, even though we say we're not. Sometimes we say, I got tough shoulders. But you know what? Really, we all want relationship. We all want to belong. And when you make somebody feel good by your smile, maybe you're making them feel like they're in a home away from home. Like I felt like that a little bit in the hospital this morning. A home away from home. It's not my home, but somebody who's making me feel at home, making my stay feel a bit better. The nurses who make you feel better because they talk to you good, nicely. They talk to you nicely. They talk to you like you're a human being. And you can always tell when you have somebody it's all business, right? You just feel kind of cut off, you don't feel like a human being. So when you are interacting with people, when you're passing people, when you're driving, whatever you're doing, take a moment and say hello. Take a moment, smile. Take a moment and just make eye contact. Take a moment and make a human being feel like a human being. It doesn't take much. You don't have to do a lot, right? Anyway, yeah, I don't really have a lot else to talk about in this parking lot, 14 minutes. I got a friend, actually, if you are interested in, he just started podcasting, Kyle Goulet. And you can go to his website at kylegoulet.com, and he's got the Goulet podcast show. And I really love listening to him. It's Kyle for Kyle, okay? Kyle, and Goulet is Goulet, right? Goulet.com, kylegoulet.com, and he has the Goulet show, and he talks about his life, and he's in his early 20s, and he talks about his life. He's a paramedic, or he's just finished paramedic school, like in an ambulance and that kind of stuff. And I just love his podcast. But you should go over there, and if you're looking for something that's entertaining and you want somebody who's going to talk about the latest movie they went to and what it was like, or you want to hear some things about health, right, then go to his podcast, kylegoulet.com, and listen to the Goulet show. Yeah, so there's lots of other podcasts you can go to, but I really like his, and I look forward to every week. He's actually a really good friend of ours. And so anyway, yeah, you can go there, listen to him, and you can go to my... I'm looking at the vehicles passing by here in the parking lot. You can go to therealtruthaboutyou.com, and you can download more episodes of my podcast, The Real Truth About You. And I want to help you to live a great life, be the best that you can be. And so you can go there, and if you want to, you can podcast. You can get a hold of us at support@therealtruthaboutyou.com, and or check out our contact page. There's resources and recipes and all kinds of stuff that I'm adding to there. And anyway, it's been great being with you. Thank you so much for tuning in, I guess, to this podcast, and for being a support. You're very much a support to me just by your listening and your downloads and that kind of stuff. So thanks for being a part of this podcast and making it worthwhile for me to do. And remember, you are very special. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. And just a plug for my friend Tammy Dovell. If you want to go to her website, tammydovell.com, it's TAMIDOVELL, TAMIDOVELL.com, tammydovell.com. And she now has a live audio link. She does meditations on Wednesday evenings, and then I know in your country it might be like 6:30 in our time in a Wednesday evening, but like 4 o'clock in the morning for you. But she actually puts those on her website too after she's done them. So but go, and if you get a chance to listen to her live, Saskatchewan time, I think that's Central Standard Time in Canada, and check out her website and check out her meditations. They're really cool. So anyway, thanks for listening in, and just a few plugs there. You can go to therealtruthaboutyou.com and listen to more podcasts, and remember that you absolutely rock.